I don't know. I go back and forth about so many things. Like, husbands just want to be ridiculous or silly, or, all these husband candidates, they just want to sit and do whatever they want to do. And it's like, listen to some of the things that I say. You either wanted to devote yourself to gods at 2 years old and become a giant, or you just really didn't want to. And then that's okay, but make up your decision. I'm not gonna play games and things. This stuff isn't funny. There's nothing funny. And it is sad that countries make life seem like something's normal while really bad things keep going on. But you either wanted to be part of the reality of gods or you didn't. And if you don't, well, then you don't. There's a wee-wee husband, and he lectures me about his wee-wee and his human girlfriend. And you can go find him, and I bet they're very ridiculous, probably, and silly, and whatever humans do. A real husband would be very horrified, take things very seriously, and be on a mission to find very monumental gods and these poor, suffering countries, and wouldn't want to really play games at all. So you see how, I just don't have a lot of patience for weird, ridiculous, inappropriate. It's like, really? If you were in a country screaming, would you want me to sit and play ridiculous, stupid, silly games? Or would you want to know that I was doing everything in life and death to win? And maybe you don't understand why I would fart in front of a husband, but it's really easy. Why do you fart in front of a husband? Because the United States and Dubai will go to town with every thought ever known inside of your brain against me. And a real true husband wouldn't even flinch or care because, their wives fart. It's just part of life. But it would tell me right away whether it's a husband I just can't work with anyway, because they have no true love or respect for my existence. And right there, you can't win. They'll never be a perfect partner that you can live and die right next to. And they'll never be devoted to God like you wish. You have to do what it takes to win. I have to act crazy sometimes because the United States and Dubai love to go to town teaching the world that I'm a fuck you nothing stupid retard, that everybody needs to treat like a fuck you retard. And you have to egg it on when it's important to get countries to treat me like a fuck you retard, or say, you know what? She says really smart things for something we know has died 2 times and more. Get the fuck away from us. God is real. You have to sit and make people make decisions. When they laugh about the fuck you retard, you have to do that. Why? That decides the countries that can scream forever and no one will ever care. And it shows the countries who deserve the first love and attention. What would the first love and attention be? She's died more than twice. The United States and Dubai pretty much brag everywhere about it. She has said impossible, smart things. She claims to have made an island and an avenue of prayer through my queen, dead. Why the fuck would I not worship a god like that, first and foremost, and win the gold? You have to let the world make their decisions. And you have to fuck with their brains and fuck with their brains and fuck with their brains until they only choose what they would choose and end up where they belong and what they deserve. And see, I don't have any time for a husband that won't just do the most ridiculous, radical, weirdo shit to win. I need 5 billion Columbo weirdos. I don't need ridiculous, silly things. But I understand that Dubai and the United States want everybody to act weird, rape happy, murder happy, ridiculous, peeping Tom happy, sicko happy, abuse happy, nothing's bad, nothing's going on, she's just a retard happy. And you're just looking for the ones that are real and matter and add up to be something that matters. And then you usher them to every important category or section. There are husbands that want to be more than what they are, and they're practicing in the corners. And then there's all the way piles of husbands in different capacities, different levels. And then there are the 100% Bonnie Annika invincible husbands trying to mold and teach and help everybody. But when you have a totally ridiculous wouldn't even have your back for 2 seconds. Like, when they're husbands that don't measure up, you easily just want to treat them like shit and teach them where the exit door is. People are screaming and dying. You don't need no ridiculous weirdo dumb shits. You need the biggest and the best that can work with the best gods and provide the best reality for good people and children of God and godly ever known. I understand that people feel that I'm mean, and I am honest. I'm a very dead, sickening, scary thing. In real life, you really should go to my queen, and understand what I really am. I'm existing liquid death that doesn't even actually function. It's completely impossible, and gods don't even know how I exist. But as the mother, I'd keep my secrets. Such as, if every god created every god who created the first god, I know that if that truth ever came out, I'd be easily probably dead. So I know to never let that truth be known. But the point is, I am old and crotchety. I've had to win impossibilities till it was sickening for so long. I know what these countries are up against that they don't even understand. These countries were molded by my worst enemies. This is the worst nightmare you could ever imagine. Nobody's going to take it seriously. And they are very weird brain weirdos. They're going to try to make people never take it seriously. Remember back in the 60s when it was so fun to just be on pot and hitchhike? The United States made it so fun to be high and hitchhike because it made murder easy and simpler. And they were corrupt back then. And that was what, around the 60s, when I showed up and started making things get a little bit less corrupt and criminal. And you guys could tell the times were changing. And that was right about when I arrived at Earth to prepare for my complete arrival in 1974. And I made all those little cute little toys. I made a bunch of cute toys, and I made a bunch of cute, famous, popular clothing in the 60s as I transformed the dead, sad pothead world into a giant, successful, superior existence. You don't want to completely understand a bad God versus a good God, much less the very dead ones that have been fighting forever or fight forever. But you do want to understand enough about reality that you're just in a really smart, amazing place in your brain that tackles things honestly and appropriately. The United States and Dubai don't tell you how gross or sickening or unthinkable they are. And you're always going to think whatever you think based on what they make you think or make you believe. That's not going to save or help anybody. They'll act like syrupy, sweet, everybody's friend. Then when the knife's in your back, they'll look at you like it's your own fault because you're that stupid, you're that bad, you're that gross anyway. You don't understand what's going on down here. But I need real husbands. I need real giants. I really need lightning bolts and electricity coming out of their penises. And I know it's a very scary thought, like how the hell could that happen? But who would care if it could save everybody? Why not just work through my queen, and work through me and build it? Or most of these husbands could just go to me and my queen, and sit and have us spell out everything that they would be, that they would become, that everybody needs. And they could say yes or no. Like literally a husband could say, my queen, show me every dream that I could be for these gods. And I'll tell you if I don't really ever want to do it. And maybe I signed up to be a husband at 2 years old and I worked my whole life, but like I didn't quite understand. And so I respectfully say, I'm just going to be a human again. Than to waste every god's time when they're so desperate to help everybody. You guys just don't understand. But you know what? Fight the good fight, man. I am a dead, heartless, scary bitch. But that's why I never lose and I always win. I'm willing to degrade myself. I'm willing to do anything. Because I will always be God and I will always win. But like it's a sad, scary, horrifying thing where you have to be willing to do anything it takes. Some people don't ever want to sign up for that. So, I get it. So on behalf of the beautiful, precious truckers and the beautiful, good people that just really want to root for every husband, go to my queen, or me, and just ask for every dream thing you could ever be with God's. And if all of it seems too much, just respectfully tell God that being a human, after all, is just fine for you guys or something.